Hello, I'm Mr. Duda with STEM with Mr. Duda. And in this series, I'll be talking about GPS, that's Global Positioning System, and how they work. And in this quick video, I'm going to be talking about latitude and longitude. It's a way that we can find exactly where we are on Earth, and that really ties into how GPS works. So stick around. All right, so here we are. This is Google Earth. It's a really nice program. I have the Pro version. It was free for a while. It might still be free. You'll see that I don't have many layers turned on at all. There are a bunch of different layers I can turn on, but I don't want those on. I don't want anyone getting confused by anything. What really matters is this grid system. And the way we get the grid system up, if you're looking, you go to View, you can turn off all this other stuff because none of that matters at all. And we can just go to grid. None of it matters for my video. Okay. So here we have the Earth. All right. It's a sphere. It is wider at the equator. If you measure the distance around here compared to the distance around here, it is wider at the equator, but it's a sphere. And what we have something called the equator, which most people know what the equator is. It is this line right around the middle of the Earth, okay? So it's right around the middle of the Earth. And what we've got are some lines, latitude and longitude lines, that tell us the distance or exactly where things are. Now, if we're looking at latitude, okay, latitude is a measure, and I wish I could turn off some of these, but latitude is a measure of how far away you are from the equator. So if I was here in Africa, I could say I am 5 degrees north of the equator. That would be my latitude. Okay. Now, latitude goes like this. 0 degrees would be at the equator. And then as we move up, we go, these are those numbers, right? So 10 degrees north, 20 degrees north, 30 degrees, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. So if we go 90 degrees from the equator, we are at the North Pole. Now that should make sense. 90 degrees, it's a right angle, right? So if we were cutting the Earth in 2 quarters, right? It's 90 degrees. So here we are at the equator. We move up. This is 90 degrees. So 90 degrees would be the North Pole. Now that would be 90 degrees north. And then 90 degrees south would be the South Pole. All right. Now that is different from magnetic north. But I'll get into that another time because we're not necessarily talking about the magnetic things dealing with GPS right now. So the equator is 0 degrees up to 90 degrees, and that's all the way around the Earth. So like me, I live in the United States. If we're at 0 degrees, that's going through, South America, Ecuador, hey, equator. Moving north, we can see, okay, I live roughly about 42 degrees, 41 and a half degrees north. Okay? So that is latitude. Then when we're talking about longitude, get into the politics of it, but there is something called the prime meridian. That is going to be, now we can ignore our latitude lines, okay? The prime meridian is this line that goes through Greenwich in the UK. And they consider that to be 0 degrees. Why is that? I believe it goes back to when, ships were sailing the oceans and the United Kingdom was sort of ruling much of the world. And so 0 degrees, that was where the kingdom was. That was, if you were west 30 degrees, that means you're 30 degrees west of who's in charge of you. We kept that, but it's this arbitrary point that we chose, which is Greenwich. And so if we go west of Greenwich, we are going the same thing, just like north. We could go west 10 degrees, 20 degrees. And if you can think about it, let's see, we keep going 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 90's right there. If we keep going, you'll notice there's 180. They don't say it because it's the anti-meridian. Remember, if you are, let's say I'm skateboarding, right? Or on a bike and I'm performing a 180, right? I go off a ramp, I do a 180. Well, I'm going to be landing backwards. So maybe I'll do a 360, right? 360 degrees means we turn all the way around. So all the way around a circle is 360 degrees. So what we've got here is halfway is 180. And then if we kept going, it would be 360 total degrees, but they count that east. So if we're looking from here, heading east of Greenwich, of the prime meridian, 0 degrees, that is 10 degrees east longitude, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 50 degrees. And then if we go the other way, it is west longitude. So about where I am, which is near Chicago, we can look and we can say, okay, I am, and I'm not going to give you my exact location. That's not what matters. I am about 89 degrees west and 42 degrees north. And by entering that information, we can figure out exactly where we are. Now, if we zoom in, and I'm not going to zoom in on where I live, but if we zoom in, you'll notice there's more information and we can get even more detailed all the way to a pin, like an exact spot. So say I really wanted to find, I don't know, this might be a school or something. School. It looks like a school. You'll see it does actually have exact GPS coordinates, and we can use those numbers to find out exactly where we are. In a future video, I'm going to show you how we don't have to look on a map and how our phones and other devices can find exactly where we are on that latitude and longitudinal coordinate plane to figure out exactly where we are and where we want to go. So thanks for checking it out, and I hope that was meaningful for you. Subscribe if you'd like, share this with other people. See ya.